Although Vietnam is ranked second in the world in terms of computing infrastructure development, Internet has reached many villages. The number of people using Internet is still limited. Much needs to be done in this regard. Meanwhile, the rate of computer users in rural areas for South Korea has been as high as 72.1%, and the rate of Internet subscribers reached 66.5%. Income from non-agricultural sector increased from $4 million in 2007 to nearly $20 million in 2010. All is contributed by the application and implementation of in-build project since 2001 in this country. Currently, this model is being under review and is expected to be deployed in rural areas in Vietnam in the future, with the aim to creating conditions for people living in rural areas to have the opportunity to use high-speed internet with cheap prices, narrowing the digital gap between urban and rural areas to improve the use of e-government services for the rural people, exploiting the potentials and strengths of the localities for the socio-economic development through the application of ICT. And this will be the story that Shang Vietnam will bring to you in this episode of the 25th of June 2012.
Hello everyone, and it is Sharing Vietnam, a 15-minute talk show at 8:30 p.m. on NetViet VTC 10. On today's program, we will welcome back our distinguished guest, an expert in terms of ICT from Korea, the man who has been working in Vietnam for the last 1 year, Mr. Jong Jae Kim. Let's say hello to him again. Hello, Mr. Kim, and thank you so much for taking your time and joining our talk show today. Mr. Kim, so could you share with us more about the detail of the Information Network Village or InVille project, which were successfully implemented in Korea?
Any countries in the world, most of the rural and mountainous area, they are underdeveloped compared with the urban area. So that even in Korea, till now, the government, they are trying to put their effort how to develop well in rural area compared with the urban. But in order for develop in the urban, the rural area, as I told you before, it need a lot of investment, okay? So that when your government wanted to introduce the in-build project in rural and mountainous area in your country, you have to think of three kind of the success factors, okay? You have to think of that. I can guess that there is the most key factors for success of the in-build project in your country. First one, is there certain profitable models by using the in-build in every villages? For example, some villages are producing special of the agricultural product, or some villages has a nice area for tourists. Either combine both of them, okay? So that, and in any way, each village who has an in-build, they have to create profitable. They have to increase their incomes by using in-build. Otherwise, it cannot be survived, okay? And also the second one is continuous cooperation between urban and rural area. For example, in your country, there is one in-build project in village. They have to tie up with one of the company or one of the organization in urban area, so that they exchange each other a lot, okay? Sometimes in the urban area, for example, students in the university, they come to rural area and teach how to use computer to the residents of the project, okay? Either some of the company, they tied up with the village, and then they frequently come to their village, enjoy together, okay? Like that. So that the cooperation between urban and rural areas is very, very important. The last one also, the strong support by the government at the beginning when they are introducing the inbuilt project is most important things. Because as you know, in the rural area, they have no money. Even government, they just get the connection of internet. They cannot subscribe it because they have no money. Because their income just less than $50 per month. Mm-hmm. How do they subscribe it? So that at the beginning, before settle down this project, government has to support for a certain period. So that in these three categories is one of the successful key factor for inbuilt project in your country, I guess.
Just because you are too old or live in the countryside doesn't mean you have to be computer illiterate. Perish the notion. Inville is a new paradigm for rural areas, enabling its users to become reporters, dispensing local news, and even online retailers. Inville seeks to achieve balanced national development by creating a foundation for growth based on IT such as PCs, broadband, and IT training for local residents. There are now 363 Invilles in Korea. Each Inville organizes its own steering committee, trains its residents, operates their own internet homepage, and directly trades local products. Local villagers have been emboldened with a belief that they can live better through their own efforts. 2010 was another turning point for the Inville project. The first video reunion of Vietnamese women married to South Korean men took place that year. To see and talk with family back home while living in an environment with differing language and culture is like a dream and a happy occasion indeed. The expansion of the Invilles contributed greatly to making this possible.
Hello everyone, and you are watching Sharing Vietnam with an expert of ICT from Korea, Mr. Kim. Mr. Kim, so can you share with us about the result, the success story in Korea by implementing the Inville in your country?
Yeah, same. At the beginning, the government, they support the full of the money, okay? At the beginning, they support not only the money, but also they providing the computer system, and also they teaching the residents by their own cost for certain years, okay? After that, many of the inbuilt in Korea, they can self-supporting by themselves, okay? That's most important things.
So what can the rural and mountainous Vietnamese people get benefit from Inville project in your expectation?
Yeah, like the same in Korea, you know. In Korea, many of the residents of Inville, in the village, they know, for example, they have some of the agricultural product, okay? Then what is the market price right now? They can know easily by watching by searching in the internet, okay? Then they can sell their product well to the market, okay? Before that, they don't know how much does it cost once they produce some of the product, okay? So that they can sell, even in your country, Inville, in case Inville they adapted in the village, then the resident of village, they know how to sell as a good price to the consumer, okay? Through e-commerce or through their websites. That's good. The other one is, for example, in some of the tourist area, okay, they also put the tour item in the website. Then everybody can watch it and then order through the internet. Then once they come, then enjoy each other together. Also through the internet Inville, they can profit also. That's why once Inville is adapted in your country, the resident of Inville, they may increase their incomes quite good.
So, Mr. Kim, can you share with us about the difficulty on the way to implement the special project from Korea in Vietnam?
Yes. You know, as I told you, in rural area, there are so wide and also scattered many villages. So that in the telecom, the service provider's point of view, it's not profitable. They have to invest a lot, but the income from the users is so less. That's why many of the telecom operators, they don't want to invest in rural area. But in this kind of things, it's not only your country. In any other countries in the world, is same. But even in Korea also, we are facing too. At that time, the government, they subsidize to the telecom operators and or to users. That's why when I adapting the inbuilt project in your country, also it has to be supported by the government. Otherwise, it cannot be done. Okay.
So, I mean, in the future, do you think that the private sectors of Vietnam should assist the government in order to develop ICT in rural area more than at this moment?
Yeah, of course. Because any of the private sector, private service operator, they are controlled by the government, so that they have to apply some of the special regulation, either special the package to subsidize the resident of the rural. Okay. For example, reducing the tariff, either supporting some more equipment to them, like that.
So in the future, what direction should Vietnam follow in order to develop the rural and mountainous area in order to scatter inbuilt project in those villages? Yes.
You know, once your country wanted to introduce the inbuilt project for the developing of the rural and mountainous area, then your country have to make a good, what do you call, the success myth story by adapting one of the pilot project. Okay, as I told you, in order to success the inbuilt, they have a profitable model, and they have to cooperation between urban and rural area under the full government support. Okay, at that time, the government, they have to apply, they have to adapt some kind of the pilot project for at the beginning. Then, when they are choosing the location for pilot project, they have to consider these kind of 3 issues. Okay, after that, once they deploy the inbuilt project on some of the village, then they have to create the success myth story, and then they have to publicity it to all of the country. Then many villages, oh, this is good, this is good. Then many villages want to use, want to adapt, want to deploy the inbuilt project in your country. Then it will be getting well.
So it's great news from Mr. Kim to the rural area of Vietnam, and also the Vietnamese young people from those areas. So in a short future, maybe you will visit all the places in Vietnam.
I hope
to know to know the situation of those provinces and villages in Vietnam.
I hope so.
Thank you so much for Mr. Kim for taking your time and joining our talk show today, and thank you for your contribution in order to develop the ICT in rural and mountainous area of Vietnam.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Thank you so much for your watching today, and we hope that we bring to you a wonderful story. Thank you so much, and see you next time at 8:30 p.m. on NetViet VTC 10. Send us an email at sharingvietnam@gmail.com.